Hello and welcome to Nationwide. I am Lami Ali. We begin with the situation in Burkina Faso. An extraordinary session of the Authority of Heads of State and Governments of ECOWAS on the recent coup in Burkina Faso has ended with a demand for an immediate return to constitutional democracy. President Muhammadu Buhari participated in the virtual engagements convened by ECOWAS Chairman and President of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo. State House correspondent Adam Sambu has the details.
The military takeover of power in Burkina Faso on the 24th of this month was characterized by the arrest and detention of President Christian Kabore and other senior government officials, as well as the dissolution of the country's parliament. For Nigeria, this situation, which followed the examples set in Mali and Guinea, is a bad signal with negative consequences on the democratic challenges that West Africa now faces. It believes that the gains of democracy in the sub-region will be reverted.
We condemn the coup and asking for immediate return to constitutional order, the release of the president and anybody else who's being detained, and to cooperate with ECOWAS and to be part of ECOWAS, decisions.
At the closed-door engagement, President Muhammadu Buhari and other ECOWAS leaders took turns to critically analyze the situation in Burkina Faso and gave suggestions on the best way forward. ECOWAS, they admit, is at a very complex and dangerous crossroads, hence the need for effective collaboration, cooperation, and decisive steps by member states towards reversing the military action in Burkina Faso and paving the way for a return to constitutional democracy.
That the chiefs of defense staffs of the ECOWAS member states should head tomorrow to Burkina Faso to assess the situation from a strategic, also military angle, and to be followed immediately by a visit of a team of ministers of foreign affairs of ECOWAS countries, again to assess the situation and then report to a meeting of the heads of states.
What happens if those demands are not met?
Well, that will now be for the summit meeting. To now, that's what I'm saying, take a definitive decision, because they would have had the benefit of the input of the chiefs of defense staffs, the benefit of the input of the ministers of foreign affairs who would have gone there, and then they would be in a position to now take an informed and definitive decision.
The heads of state and government say they are determined to move ECOWAS away from the critical crossroads in favor of sustainable democracy, good governance, and development. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And the federal government's decision to suspend the earlier planned removal of fuel subsidy has generated diverse reactions, with industry experts calling for attention to be shifted to alternative means of transportation that requires less consumption of petroleum products and a sustainable plan beyond the 18-month stay of action. This formed part of discussions among guests on Good Morning Nigeria while dissecting the issues on fuel subsidy removal. Daniel Adiri has the report.
Cry and apprehension of the labour union and the public stalled the process, with the federal government specifically saying this would worsen the sufferings of Nigerians. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria, however, say Nigeria as a nation must look beyond oil and gas and find alternatives in energy generation that are cleaner, safer and cheaper, hence saving more of the nation's financial reserve in foreign exchange.
What happens when the oil is no longer the darling and no longer give us the revenue that we need? How we put in place the things that we need for Nigeria's future? And that, I think, is an element of the conversation that is not really being focused on. We spent all these different sums over the years on subsidy. What about Nigeria's future? How are we planning for it? How are we preparing for it?
One of the ways to brace Nigerians up is to say, look, at periodic intervals, you're going to have price reviews. And there's a mechanism for price review. There's a minor review, major reviews. It happens 5 years. We should also have the same templates in the petroleum sector.
Other guests, however, noted that for government to see the process of subsidy removal through, there must be a conscious effort to engage all sectors of the economy, which they believe will further influence and approach eventual results of the fuel subsidy removal by the government.
Reform should be consensual. I mean, it has to be to involve everybody. It's not going to be based on vested interests, whether the oil importers want it, multinationals want it, but the citizens must also be factored into it.
They also noted that even as the process is being reviewed, government must, as a matter of core importance, find all possible measures to revive local refineries and also audit the amount of petroleum products being imported into the country. In Abuja, Daniel Aderiye, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has received inputs from stakeholders for a legislation to establish the National Youth Development Commission, which will coordinate the Youths for National Development. National Assembly correspondent Dayo Ogunshola reports.
Available statistics show that Nigerian youths have a significant national population. Therefore, harnessing the potential embedded in this group of people is the focus of the bill. Speaker, House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila is of the opinion that all attempts to coordinate youths for national development must be supported.
For the youth to be at the table of conversations and discussions that surround the development of Nigeria, certain actions have to be taken. One of them is the passage of this bill.
The establishment of a commission as this will provide social and economic focus to Nigerian youths towards impacting positively on the national economy.
For the Ministry of Youth and Sport Development, legislations that can lead to duplication of responsibilities should be avoided.
This scenario, we believe, will not be healthy for the ministry and the entire nation at the moment, owing to the economic reality.
We do not agree that this will be a duplication of effort. Rather, we see it as complementing the efforts of the ministry.
So the SSA has no problems. After all, Mr. President is only interested in the welfare of the Nigerian youth.
The inputs from this public hearing will determine further legislative action on the bill. From the National Assembly, Dayo Ogunshola, NTA News.
You can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on YouTube channel, NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page, NTA Network News, Twitter at NTA News Now, and Instagram, NTA Network for updates. We now join Adeola in Lagos for news trending at that zone. Hello, Adeola. It's over to you.
Hello, Lami. The Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association now says it will continue to ensure the provision of quality and affordable education for children of personnel. The national president of NAWA, Salamatu Yahaya, stated this while laying the foundation for the construction of a one block of 6 classrooms at the NAWA Model Nursery and Primary School, Ojo Barracks, Lagos.
Our Model Nursery and Primary School, Ojo Barrack, was established in 1985 by late Mariam Babangida to support educational needs of the Barrack children. The national president, Naoa, said the project, which is one of her pet projects, was a long-awaited one, considering the need for expansion of the school facility because of the increasing population of pupils in the school. The groundbreaking is seen as a positive step towards enhancing the standard of education in the country. When completed, the project will provide, amongst other facilities, an ICT laboratory and a 500-sitting capacity assembly hall.
My vision as the 22nd President of the Nigerian Army Officers Wife Association is sustaining legacies and upholding the tenets of unity and service. What I intend to do is to ensure that the standard is improved on and that we have a truly model nursery and primary school that can compete with any standard private or even government established institution.
In a related development, Mrs. Yahaya also presented relief items to widows who lost their husbands while in active service. In Lagos, Ruth Ariel Samuel, NTA News.
The clamor for peaceful coexistence, dialogue and reconciliation in nation building is not negotiable. This assertion was re-echoed at the inauguration of coordinators for the United Nations International Peace Council Southwest Zone in Lagos. Abolade Salami reports.
Looking into the nation's history, the outbreak of violence, pandemonium, and spate of hate speech has caused great havoc to the detriment of national development. This is why the federal government has continued to champion campaigns against all vices to promote understanding and assist the citizens to value their diversity. To further strengthen the cord of unity and love among Nigerians, the United Nations International Peace Council has appointed agents of change in conflict resolution, peace mediation, and advocacy of transformative dialogue from Southwest Zone to harp on benefits of peaceful coexistence at their communities and neighborhood.
Don't love ourselves. That is the reason why we are maiming and killing ourselves. So we believe that we should inaugurate these people so that they can be the ambassador of peace in their various environments.
While the International Peace Council has been an advocate of sustainable peace through networking and coordination, the management is exploring other conflict management strategies to achieve its goals.
The coordinators, we gave them that authority to move around, whether it's crisis, conflict, they are expected to mediate.
The value of peace is enormous. You can't compare it when we talk about conflicts.
To execute the task of ensuring peace at the local, states, and zonal level, the coordinators say carrot and stick approach will be applied.
We are collaborating with INEC for peaceful election in Nigeria.
We try our possible best in order to bring peace to the nation at large.
The United Nations International Peace Council of Nigeria, a body saddled with the promotion of peace and conflict management, has presence in 24 countries. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
It's time for us to take our first break, and when we return, Abubakar in Maiduguri will give us stories from that zone.
Thanks for staying with us nationwide up to this moment, and this is NTA Maiduguri Zonal Network Center. Let's move on now. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum was in Chibok town following a recent attack on 3 communities that include Kautikari, Korohuma, and Pemi in the local government area to sympathize with families of 22 women and 2 men abducted by Boko Haram and ISWAP during the attack. Mohammed Guni completes the story.
Insurgents had recently attacked Kautekiri on January 21, 2022, Pemi on January 14, after previous one on Korohoma on December 30, 2021. Governor Zulum, who met with relatives of the victims from the 3 affected communities made up of men and women at the government lodge in Chibok town, says government shares their pains and prays that this act will not happen again.
Some of the problems that are happening in the entire southern border, and I'm here to interface with the brigade commander with the view to having the first-hand information on how we can address such challenges.
He directed that an assessment report containing all destructions perpetrated by the insurgents in the 3 affected communities be submitted to him, and further commended the chairman of Chibok local government for his responsive leadership. Briefing the governor, chairman Chibok local government area Umar Ibrahim said, in addition to the 24 people abducted, 3 persons were also killed by the terrorists during the separate attacks on 3 communities. The chairman disclosed that a combined number of 110 buildings made up of 73 houses, 33 shops and 4 churches were burned down alongside 8 vehicles and 3 tricycles. After the meeting with the families and the affected communities, Professor Zulum interfaced with heads of security agencies and discussed gaps and ways to enhance security in the communities. He observed that 4 local government areas of Biu, Askira, Uba, Chibok, and Dumboa were faced with serial attacks from the members of the Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists in recent times, assuring that his administration will not relent in providing additional support to security operatives to contain the challenges. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
And back here in Maiduguri, Borno State government has assured NYSC members posted to the state of timely payment of their monthly allowance and settlement of their accumulated arrears. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum disclosed this while addressing medical and paramedic corps members serving in various health facilities at the council chambers of the government house, Maiduguri. Here again is Mohammed Guni with the rest of the story.
Governor Babagana Umar says, henceforth, those posted and fully captured by the State Hospital Management Board will receive the full allowances, adding that it is the responsibility of Borno State government to pay all their outstanding allowances. Professor Zulum directed the Chief Medical Director, Hospital Management Board, and SSA on job creation to ensure that those that are not paid are captured for payment, and those who choose to serve with the Borno State government will be allowed to serve in the state. He appreciated the corps members for serving the state during insurgency when most of the medical doctors left the services of the state, calling on them to continue rendering humanitarian services to the people of the state, and presented a token to all the medical and paramedic NYSC members. The desk officer of the NYSC and SSA on job creation, Christopher Godwin Akaba, said 136 medical doctors and paramedic NYSC members were posted to the state, and that payment of their 3-month allowances is being processed. Leader of the core medical and paramedic, Dr. Abdullahi Abdurrahman Ango, said they were at the government house on the request of the governor to present their complaint on non-payment of monthly allowances, among other issues affecting them, and use the forum to appreciate Borno State government's effort in providing accommodation to them and appeal for provision of power to source water in their quarters. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
If you're just joining us, you're on to Nationwide on Africa's window to the world. Let us at this point return to Lami in Abuja for the next set of stories. Good evening.
Many thanks, Abubakar. Now, a section of the shoeside markets along Ubuduku-Uberi Road, Onisha, was razed early hours of today. Eyewitness account says the fire sparked shortly after a tanker load of fuel fell and spilled its content while struggling with touts in the area. The fire is now under control through the help of traders. We now join Daniel Aderie to give us an update on the fuel situation in Abuja. He is at the central area. Daniel, what's the situation there?
Yeah, thank you very much. Currently, I am in the central area, just opposite the NNPC quarters. I'm at one of the filling stations here in the city center, and I've gone around just to take what you probably call a pulse of consumers' ideology, and as to why there are still what you probably call lingering queues. Mind you, just a few days ago, federal government had actually what you probably call put a relative suspension to the fuel or planned fuel subsidy removal. And as such, a lot of us, Nigerians as a whole, have still continued to probably engage in what you call panic buying. Earlier today, I was at the Area 11 area of Abuja, and the situation was slightly different. Over there, one of the filling stations said there was relatively little or no product. And even as at the time I got there, what they said was anytime soon they might run out. But here, as I speak with you, I've been in touch with the manager who chose to stay off camera, and his narrative was they have not lacked any product so far. In fact, a few of the consumers have actually praised the staff and management of this particular filling station, and if you look behind me, there is what you call a fair level of security presence to ensure law and order, because earlier there were cases of people trying to bribe their way into the station, all in the bid to just get fuel, but with men of the security personnel, specifically the NSCDC and other security bodies here live. They are here just to make sure that law and order is maintained, and everybody at least gets gets product. But one thing is certain for sure, based on the narrative that the manager gave me, there is availability of fuel here, and at least from now to probably the end of the week, they are not going to lack petroleum products, referring to PMS. So everyone should relax. These are the words of the manager. Everyone should relax and be sure that everyone will get sold to.
We thank you, Daniel, for that update. Now, away from the politics of fuel subsidy, President Muhammadu Buhari wishes the former Minister of Labour and Productivity, Dr. Emeka Wugu, more years of health and happiness as he turns 57. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says President Buhari recognizes Chief Wugu's commitment and service to the country in different positions of leadership. The President joins family, friends and well-wishers in praying for enduring health, grace and wisdom for the former minister to do more for humanity. Everyone at some point needs privacy in their lives, but habits one must be mindful of invaders who might be intentionally or unintentionally lacking. ICT correspondent Joseph Johnson reports that this practice applies to data privacy protection, which is being advocated for by the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, as the day is being celebrated today.
It's day 5 of the National Data Privacy Week, a commemoration that has been running on the theme Data Economics in a Digital Economy, charting Nigeria's data strategy. The journey of data protection in Nigeria started in January 2019 with the Nigeria Data Protection Regulation, NDPR, which is the current national law on data protection in the country. Minister of Communications and Digital Economy Professor Issa Ali Pantami, who was formerly the DG of the National Information Technology Development Agency, initiated the journey with the draft of the policy. For him, the security of information must be sustained at all times to foster an internet economy.
The only comprehensive regulation we have in Nigeria so far is Nigeria Data Protection Regulation. It is because of this, I think the journey so far is highly commendable. And the federal government of Nigeria, through the National Identity Management Commissions, is working day in, day out to integrate this existing legislation into full law.
Data drives digital economy, and digital economy drives the growth of traditional economy. We can harness the potentials of this technology and avoid its perils, because we all know that technology can be used as a tool or as a weapon.
The event also featured presentation of the NDPR performance report to the minister and prizes to some students who aced the quiz and debate competitions. Celebrated globally, the World Data Privacy Day is aimed at sensitizing individuals and raising awareness around privacy practices and principles. Joseph Johnson, NTA News.
Now to politics. The immediate past secretary to the Ekiti State Government, Abiodun Oyebanji, has been elected the flag bearer of the All Progressives Congress APC for the 2022 governorship election. Chairman of the Primary Election Committee in Jigawa State Governor Abubakar Badaru declared Oyebanji the winner, having defeated other contestants at the primary. Kola Debubi reports.
With the submission of results by the returning officers from the different local government areas of the state at the State Party Secretariat in Adogiti, the Collation Center for the Governorship Primary, the chairman of the election committee and Jigawa State Governor, Abubakar Badaru, described the process as free and fair. Governor Badaru declared Abiodun Oyebanji the winner, having put 101,703 out of the 104,983 votes cast to beat other contestants.
It's my pleasure to declare Oyebanji Abiodun as the winner of these primaries, having scored the highest votes and also having the spread around the 225% spread.
The APC governorship candidate, Abiodun Oyebanji, expressed gratitude for the privilege given to him by the party members and promised to work with other aspirants to work for the victory of the party at the governorship election.
I therefore humbly ask for your support as we begin the task of campaign. We have a huge mission ahead of us to retain the governance of Abia State under a great party and to ensure the continuity of our progressive programs.
Meanwhile, 7 of the 8 aspirants jostling for the ticket of the party had earlier announced their withdrawal from the primary over an allegation of compromise in the entire process. In Ado-Ekiti, Kola Adebabuyi, NTA News.
The Niger State High Court has fixed the 10th of February this year to determine the fate of the October 16, 2021 Niger State APC Congress and the qualification of the executives that emerged after the Congress. Mukhtar Abubakar reports that the 15 plaintiffs and purported aspirants during the State Congress filed the suit at the Niger State High Court 2 in Minna.
During the hearing of the plaintiffs' originating summon, the alleged violation of the APC guidelines in the conduct of the October 16, 2021 State Congress, and also questioned the qualifications of those that emerged state executives as consensus candidates. Counsel to the plaintiffs, while adopting his written submissions as argument, urged the court to dismiss the preliminary objections of the respondents' counsel, challenging the jurisdiction of the court to hear the matter, which is a party affairs, and asked the court to grant all the reliefs and prayers sought in the originating summon.
In this case, what is an issue is the legality or otherwise of the purported Congress conducted by APC in Niger State.
The defense counsel, however, maintained that there is no justifiable case to be determined by the court, as the case is a purely internal affairs of the party. They also argued that the authorities cited by the counsel to the plaintiffs are not applicable in the suit, and submitted that it is a tried law that Article 21 of the APC guidelines must be respected by party members. They therefore urged the court to dismiss the plaintiff's suit for lacking merit.
Is valid or not valid? That is for the court to determine.
Justice Halima Abdul Malik of the Niger State High Court 2 fixed the 10th of February this year for composite rulings. Emina Mukhtar, NTA News.
And from Minna, we join Adebola in Ibadan for reports from that zone. Hello, Adebola.
Thank you, Lami. Good to see you and welcome to Ibadan. Regular dialogue and fulfillment of promises between government at all levels and key players in the ivory tower will strengthen the development of the country's tertiary institutions. This formed part of the communique issued at the roundtable by the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities held at Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. Adejoke Iluyemi has details.
The communique focused on various national issues and welfare of the members of the union.
The government is hereby enjoined to see to it that they keep to the promise of payment of the arrears of the national minimum wage, which has already lost its value as of today.
The union had earlier paid a courtesy visit to the Osun State Governor, where the Deputy Governor, Benedict Alabi, hosted them. Similarly, the union leaders were in the office of the Vice Chancellor of the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Professor Eyitope Ogunbodede, where a number of the union's labor disputes were resolved.
The issue of promotion arrears, the issue of delays in the payment of retirement benefits, and also the issue of promotion as at when due. So these are issues that we will tackle frontally.
Some executive members of the union noted that this year's SANO-NEC meeting yielded positive results, especially on the resolution of the dispute between the union and the government.
But I'm appealing to the federal government to do the needful so that there will be peace in the country.
We believe that the only way is for government to begin to respect agreements that are reached between it and trade unions.
The union also performed groundbreaking ceremony for the proposed SANO branch secretariat at Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. In Ile-Ife, Adejoke Iluyemi, NTA News.
And in a bid to boost food production in Nigeria, the federal government embarked on various agricultural projects with major consideration for improved seedlings for greater harvest. In this report, Kayode Oladoshu takes a look on how improved seeds will bring about food sustainability in the country.
Food is one of the basic needs of man. Its importance is of great necessity that every home and country cannot do without. Agricultural practices have always been given adequate consideration through availability of improved seeds varieties. Such varieties are Mudupe, a cowpea variety, and Kenaf, a fiber crop introduced to farmers with potential expansion of food production and economic growth for the nation.
The Kenaf variety, now we have been able to improve the yield. So if we have farmers that can have high yield into rates, they will be able to meet the demand of the industry.
In view of the approaching planting season, other crop varieties that will bring high yield for farmers is brown blotch tolerant varieties of cowpea, as stakeholders posit that only improved seed will solve the problem of food security in Nigeria.
Don't believe maize is maize. Just get some maize in the open market and plant, you will get maize. Yes, it will germinate, but it will not give you what is expected for you to have when it comes to the yield. So if we do it right, yes. If we decide to cut corners, no.
A farmer that really wants to make money, you need to tap into planting of improved seeds.
With various laboratory analyses before seeds can be processed for planting, farmers are at the advantage of planting improved seed, a precursor for food sustainability. In Ibadan, Kayode Oladoshu, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. Nationwide continues with Lami in Abuja after this break. Stay tuned.
Thank you for staying tuned. There was mass jubilation in Jigawa State following a breakthrough achieved by the State Police Command in arresting 14 kidnapped suspects in a major operation. This is coming barely a week after the command lost its 2 officers in a shootout with kidnappers. Abdullahi Birnunkudu tells us more.
A rousing welcome that greeted members of the Operation Flush Out. Commissioner of Police Aliyu Saleh Tepide says the operation leads to the arrest of 14 suspects at various kidnappers' den, the recovery of live ammunition, a Toyota Hummer bus, 9 motorcycles, and the sum of 2 million naira. The police also rescued a lady suspected to have been kidnapped last month.
Where we operated, our criminal handout. These are people who are there with their families and yet they are criminals. The victims taken there, they cook for them. They themselves, they are many, they cook. So that's why the women are there. They are their wives and their children.
Jigawa State considered relatively peaceful and secured, however, shares boundaries with some states bedeviled by banditry and kidnappers' activities. From Duse, Abdullahi Birnunkudu, NTA.
The National Defense College is to review its curriculum to enhance combat readiness of personnel and ensure they operate at optimum level. The commandant of the college, Rear Admiral Murtala Bashir, stated this in Abuja as the college's steering group retreats.
Nigeria is facing different internal security challenges in different parts of the country, with the military policing virtually all states of the Federation. To further upscale troops' combat efficiency in ongoing internal security operations, the National Defense College, the apex military training institution, is conducting a retreat for the college steering group to enhance their performance.
It is important, therefore, that the college curriculum and programs be tweaked to reflect contemporary demands in knowledge and research as we meet global best practices in the issues of defense, security, and national development.
We're also seeing the advent of artificial intelligence.
To the commandant of the college, Rear Admiral Murtala Bashir, besides appraising and re-evaluating its performances, it will also review the curriculum of the institution and inject new specified criteria.
We want to introduce some capstone courses and exercises, not only for the participants. We want to also involve some personnel from the ministries, departments and agencies.
There are also moves to award master's degree to participants after their 11 months intensive training at the institution. The maiden steering group retreat, which coincides with the 30th anniversary of the college, is aimed at further repositioning the college as a center of excellence. From the National Defense College in Abuja, Ismail Musa.
And the Nigerian Navy has donated educational materials to schools in Imo State for the advancement of academic activities in rural communities. Biachi Sanyam reports that the presentation was made by the representative of the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awul Gambo.
Presenting the materials, the Chief of Naval Staff, represented by the Acting Command Education Officer, Central Naval Command, says the initiative is aimed at promoting quality education while providing adequate security.
Security is a whole society approach, and one of the ways we think we are going to curb this insecurity is development of education.
The materials donated include magnetic whiteboards, dusters, markers, exercise books, independent solar-powered water projects, and a block of 6 toilets. Members of the benefiting community expressed gratitude to the Nigerian Navy for the gesture.
I want other commands to key in and help the state government.
We are very happy to receive all these materials.
We want to assure them that whatever they are handing over to us today,
also come to our aid in areas of infrastructure.
The people are of the hope that this initiative will inspire other organizations and well-meaning citizens to support education in Nigeria. Petrus Anyam, NTA News.
And here is Jenny with updates on alleged illegal mortuary in Port Harcourt and other reports from that part of the country. Jenny, you're on.
Thank you, Lami. An illegal mortuary has been discovered at an abandoned hospital in Elele Alumini community in Rivers State. The mortuary was discovered alongside a dump of illegal refined crude oil by the Emoha local government chairman, G.D. Lloyd. Robinson Darataide reports.
It was about 1 kilometer distance from the east-west road to the Elele Alumini General Hospital, where the illegal mortuary was found. The hospital, which was under lock and key, had been abandoned several years ago by the River State Hospital Management Board, but was later converted to a mortuary and illegal oil dump by some members of the community. Emoa Local Council Chairman Chidi Lloyd could not confirm if the mortuary was operated by kidnappers as alleged, since investigation is ongoing.
We rounded up the young man that says he operates the place. In addition to the dry corpses, we also found fresh corpses that have just been put there. So the investigation will reveal what that place is actually meant for.
Some community members appear to have knowledge of the mortuary and called on the government to revive the hospital for the benefit of the people.
It was built by a group of organizations in the community trying to secure every community of alumni instead of them going outside to keep their death diseases. They can still make use of the hospital.
We are calling on the government to look into our general hospital. This is one of the best general hospitals them days, covering this jurisdiction.
The Elele General Hospital is said to be the only general hospital serving the Emoa Local Council area. From Elele Alumini in River State, Robinson Delateide, NTA News.
A political pressure group, Rivers Voice of Freedom, has been inaugurated in Ogba Egbema Ndoni local government area to mobilize grassroots support for Senator Magnus Abe's governorship quest come 2023. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
And abide by the rules and regulations of this double group.
The inauguration of Onega chapter of Rivers Voice of Freedom witnessed the gathering of political leaders who are championing the realization of Senator Magnus Abe's governorship drive. Members of the newly inaugurated pressure group are to galvanize grassroots support towards the group's set objectives.
It is time to move forward because the Rivers people must move to the next level. Let us move to that promised land. And that promised land is to take over the brick house.
Senator Wesley Ake, alongside other notable APC stalwarts, see Senator Abe as possessing leadership qualities and character to drive development in Rivers State.
Your Excellency, you can see the crowd of Oba Ibeba and Tony people who are willing to go with you to any distance. Our hand will not leave the paddle until that canoe gets to the shore.
This struggle is not about Senator Abe becoming governor. No. It is about you. It's about what is right. It's about your desire to be given the options that you want. It's about the need for people to be respected, for righteousness to be enthroned, for justice to shine. And if people do not stand up for what is right, what is wrong will overtake all of us.
Meanwhile, Senator Abe received Rivers State Student Union leadership as part of consultation towards the realization of his governorship ambition. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
And that's the training report. From here is now back to Lami in Abuja.
Thank you, Jenny. Now, complementary and alternative medicine experts are advocating inclusion of complementary medicines into standard medical care. Elizabeth Omorui reports that this was part of issues raised at a two-day stakeholders meeting on complementary medicine in Abuja.
In 2019 defined complementary and alternative medicine as a group of health care practices that are not part of a country's traditional medicine and are not fully integrated into the dominant healthcare systems. These practices include homeopathy, Tai Chi, naturopathy, and osteopathy. This meeting is all about taking advantage of the enormous benefits inherent in alternative medicine.
All these should be regulated, identified, well-trained, so that they can meet the standards we are looking for.
Experts in alternative medicine and health development partners believe adopting alternative medicine as part of standard medical practice will improve healthcare delivery in Nigeria.
There are some bills to be passed. We want them to make sure that all these things are hastening up so that our people can benefit from this immense aspect of medicine which will help humanities.
We are working hand in hand now with NAFDAC. We take our medicines there and they carry on tests on toxicity.
Funding for research in alternative medicine is a key area of concern. Advocates hope findings from researchers would help improve health indices of Nigerians. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Senate Committee on Sports has asked the National Lottery Regulatory Commission to comply with the advice of the Attorney General of the Federation on out-of-court settlement of disputes between it and System Numeric to enable Nigeria begin to generate revenue from lottery activities. This was at a meeting with the duo over a court case between them. John Yaku has more.
The bone of contention in the matter is which company won the central monitoring system bid to regulate the lottery activities to generate revenue for the country. The bid, which was carried out in 2013, led to a court case that has lasted 8 years, thereby denying the country of revenue of over 3 trillion naira in the sports sector. After listening to both parties, the committee ruled that rather than wait for the outcome of the court, an out-of-court option settlement be reached as earlier advised by the Attorney General of the Federation, who is the #1 law officer.
Report back to the Senate 2 weeks from today, and this will stop wasting of revenue from federal government.
In spite of the Attorney General's instruction, they have never invited us for one day, even in spite of a court injunction.
Meanwhile, members of the Alumni Association of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies have petitioned Senate Committee on Federal Character over the nomination of Professor Ayo Omotayo as Director General of NIBS. The group said his nomination does not reflect the federal character principle in the current management structure of the institute.
The petition in the first place wouldn't have been written as a point of Okokuma by saying it is a petition. You would have put in it just like Ella said, please, or try to make a point of correction.
We heard your advice.
believe as distinguished members of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to do what is good for the country.
The committee, however, promised to communicate their plea to the appropriate quarters. In Abuja, John Yaku, NTA News.
And let's now join Cynthia Ogun for sports update.
Action resumes Saturday as the quarter-final of the ongoing African Cup of Nations in Cameroon gets underway with 2 matches billed to go down. Gambia will take on host Cameroon at the Japoma Stadium in Douala as Burkina Faso tackle Tunisia, who defeated Nigeria in the round of 16 by a lone goal in the second game. In other fixtures for Sunday, Egypt will slug it out with Morocco as Senegal take on Equatorial Guinea. Still on football, the Nigeria Professional Football League (NPFL) enters March Day 9 on Saturday, with Enyimba International welcoming Katsina United in Aba. Struggling Heartland FC take on Kano Pillars in Owerri. Other games will see Niger Tornadoes trade tackles with Aqua United as Lobi Stars go away to Sunshine Stars of Akure. To cycling, President of the Cycling Federation of Nigeria, Kiandomeniko Masari, said plans have been perfected to ensure the final certification of the velodrome of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium by the Union Cycling International, UCI. According to the president, the officials from UCI are expected in Nigeria early February to carry out the final phase of certifying the velodrome.
We are prepared because the velodrome is there. It's not just we have to build anything. As is it is okay because it has all the necessary infrastructure, everything.
And
President Muhammadu Buhari has commiserated with Gudaji Kazauri, member House of Representatives, over the death of his father, Alhaji Muhammadu Maikanti Kazauri. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says Gudaji is one of President Buhari's pillars of support in the National Assembly. In a message to the bereaved legislator, President Buhari described his late father as a good man who lived for others and said the deceased will be remembered for his selfless service to humanity. On behalf of the First Family and the nation, President Buhari extended the condolence to the Kazauri Emirate Council and to the governments and people of Jigawa State. And that's all we have time for on Nationwide for today. We thank you for watching. I am Lami Ali.